In this video we're going to look at Python functions. So functions are used to break a big problem into smaller problems. So functions perform a specific task. So breaking that complicated problem or large task into smaller problems where a function can be used. So the function is defined with this syntax here, the DEF for definition. We define a function name ourselves. We have the brackets. Inside the brackets we have the arguments, which can be one argument or multiple arguments or no arguments at all. We have the colon. Then inside the function we have statements, either one statement or multiple statements. They need to be indented with the tab key. If there's a incorrect indentation here, we'll get an error occurring. We're going to go through a number of different function definitions here and see how they work. The first one here we've called message, and we're passing in no arguments. It's going to execute two statements, but we need to call the function. Notice if we just run this script here, nothing will occur. Here, nothing occurs because none of these functions are being called because I commented out all of the call statements. To run a function, to run these statements inside the function, we need to call the function. To call the function, we need to write the name of the function with the parentheses. If the function has arguments, we need to put the arguments inside the parentheses. So this first one doesn't have any arguments, it's simply going to execute these two lines. So let's run it. What fruit do you like? And that's the input from the user. I'll type in apple. I like apple, so we got this line here, and that finished. So let's comment out this one here, and go to the next one. Message 2 is going to call this function here. There's no arguments again, getting passed into the function, and it's going to execute this line here. But we haven't defined fruit 2 yet. We need to define it here. So we're going to get the user input, assign that to fruit 2, and then this fruit 2, because it is defined outside the function, has what is called global scope, so it can be seen inside the function. Note this one up here, if we were to uncomment out this one, we get an error, fruit is not defined, because fruit is defined inside the function, so it has what we call local scope. It can only be seen inside the function. So let's call this function message 2, run it. What fruit do you like? We'll go pear this time. I like pear. I like pear. Let's comment out this one. Go to message 3. This time we're passing an argument. We're calling the function message 3, and we're passing an argument into the function. So apples will get passed into this location here, get assigned to the fruit variable, and the fruit variable will then get passed into this location here. So if we run this, it'll simply this line here, we forgot to comment out this line here, so I'm just going to go like this, comment out this one so we don't get that popping up, and run the function again. So let's run this one again. I like apples, so apples got passed into this location, then from this location got passed inside into the function statements, which is this location here. We got I like apples. Let's comment out this one. Notice the function doesn't get executed unless we call the function. So commenting out the call to the function will stop the function getting executed. Let's call this message for function. So message for has two arguments this time, fruit 4 and fruit 3. We're passing in apples to fruit 4 and oranges to fruit 3. Then fruit 3 gets passed to this location, fruit 4 to this location. If we were to run it, I like oranges and apples, so apples, oranges got passed to the second argument, so the order matters. The first will get passed to the first, the second will get passed to the second. So oranges is fruit 3 there, and apples is the first one, fruit 4, which is this location there and there. Comment out that one, and let's run this one. This one here, message 5, no arguments, but we have two statements, and we have this one here we haven't seen before. We have a return statement. So this function, when we call it, is actually going to return something. So what this does, we are calling the function here. It calls this function here, which executes this statement here. Fruit will have a value, and that value will get returned, this is a key word, to the calling function, which is here. So whatever value is stored in fruit will get placed in this location here and replaced. So let's execute it. What fruit do you like? Apple. I like apple. So what fruit do you like? And I like apple. So apple took the place of message 5, the call to message 5 function, using the return keyword. Let's comment out that one there. Go to the very last one here. This one here, message 6, we have two arguments, number 1, number 2. We are calling the function here. Inside the call to the function, we have arguments, two arguments which match up. This argument here matches with number 1, this one here with number 2. We're getting the user input to input a number for the first argument and also for the second argument, and number 1 is getting passed to this location and number 2 to this location. We're then going to multiply the two numbers to get another number called product. Then we're going to return that value to the calling function, which is this location here. So this all this here will get replaced with the number in product, and then that value will get assigned to the left hand side into another variable called result, and that will get printed out here. So let's run it. Enter first number, which is this part here, 2. So this part here got replaced with the number 2. Notice the separation with the comma there. Enter second number, which is this one here, 10. Enter. So 10 took the place, got replaced all this part here. So we have 2 in this location, 10 in this location. The 2 got passed to the first argument, which is number 1. The 10 got passed to the second argument, number 2. And in turn that got passed to here and here. Multiplied together to give this number here stored in product, and that number there in product got returned to the calling function, which is this part here. So 20 took the place of this all that there, and then 20 got assigned to a variable called result, which we called result ourselves, and that got printed in the last line here. So that completes this video on Python functions.